Hello and welcome back to my take. Today we'll be discussing about the new education policy of the government. What changes the government want to bring in the education? What changes the government want to bring in the curriculum? What are the tinkering they are doing in the school books for school children so that they can influence the minds of the students? We all know NCERT. We're quite familiar with this, National Educational Research and Training. NCERT brings the best publications for school kids in all the subjects. They are famous for the school children. Not only for the school children, NCERT publications are very crucial, very important even for the candidates or aspirants appearing for the civil services examinations. To start with, they start with the NCERT publications, even though they are grown up and they are preparing for the topmost examination of the country, civil services. The first priority they give is NCERT publication. That much is the importance of NCERT publications. From north, from the capital city of India to down south in Chennai, in Kerala, all the schools, they follow NCERT publication, National Council of Educational Research and Training. Even though they have the board examination of their own state boards, but still they follow the NCERT publication. So that much importance the NCERT books have for developing the personality of the school kids or small children. NCERT brings out all publication in all subjects. They bring out in science, they bring out in social science, they bring out in history, they bring out the books in economics, accountancy and English. The government is not tinkering. The government is not making any changes or reforms in any other books. They can't. For example, they can't do any changes in economics because the microeconomics will remain the same. Macroeconomics will remain the same whether there is NDA government or UPA government, whether there is BJP or Congress government. They cannot change political science, they cannot change economics, they cannot change accountancy. So what changes the government want to bring out? What kind of changes they want to bring out? What kind of tinkering the government is doing in NCERT publication? So they can do only one book or one subject in their favor, rather, that is history. So from class 6 to class 7, the government is thinking of doing some reforms in the history books. What are these reforms? How do they help the government? Number one, these reforms are whatever the changes they want to bring out in the history books. Number one is they want to delete all the chapters on Delhi Sultanate, that is Mughal empires. They want to delete all the topics, all the chapters on the Mughal rulers in India, whether it is Shah Jahan or whether it is Aurangzeb, Babur, Akbar or any other rulers. God knows the reason behind it, number one. And number two, they want to make changes in the present history too. What is in the present history? They want to delete the chapter or the topic on the emergency imposed by the former Prime Minister of India, Mrs. Indira Gandhi, in 1975 to 77. They also want to delete the communal riots in Gujarat when the present Prime Minister of India, Mr. Narendra Modi, was the Chief Minister of Gujarat. So these drastic changes they want to bring in the history books. Not only this, the chapters on the Mughal rulers and the topics or the chapter on the communal riots in the Gujarat. Not only this, there are other protests that took place. For example, Narmada Andolan, Narmada Bachao Andolan, or certain things they want to delete from these books. This is a big injustice to the little kids or the children, because you are depriving them to form their own opinions about the rulers. There may be good rulers in the world, may be bad rulers. We cannot say all rulers are bad, all rulers are good. But we can learn, we can think, critical thinking. You are depriving the kids to have a critical thinking about the past. If there is a good ruler, we can learn a lot of things from him. I'm not saying here who was a good ruler, who was a bad ruler. Maybe we learned it from history, from childhood. We learned it. Aurangzeb did lot of excesses and he was very discriminating against Hindus. Okay, he was a bad ruler, but he had certain, well, let's not repeat what he had done now. Let's not learn bad things from the bad rulers. Let's learn the good things, some good qualities he had that we can learn. If you don't learn those things, they say history repeats itself. Again, we'll repeat the same mistakes what the earlier rulers have done. If you take the world history, we have Hitler, we have Mao, we have Lenin, we have Idi Amin, we had Hitler, we had Saddam Hussein, and we had so many good and bad rulers. So that's why they say history repeat itself. Let's learn from their past mistakes, not to repeat in the present. We should learn how to take care of the present. So we should not delete anything. History is not something which you can play with. You can tinker it. The chapters which you don't like it, you can delete, and the chapters which you like, you keep it. The chapters which will help you to form the government or to run your government, to form a good opinion about government, keep those chapters, and the chapters which are bad, remove. No, history is history. We cannot tinker, we cannot play fun with history. Let's learn, let our children and the future generation learn about the past, so that whatever the mistakes they committed, let's not commit right now. Let's not the history repeat itself. And the simple logic the government gives for deleting these topics, because the children had tough time during the pandemic, during the COVID, and we are reducing the burden on them. Why? To reduce the selective burden. Why only certain topics are removed? Why in history? Why not in other subjects? That's a big question. If at all you want to reduce the stress on them, you empower the teachers. The teachers are the best people to help the children. Now the COVID is over, let's not delete the topics to reduce their burden. We can empower the teachers. And moreover, one more thing, right? So let's our children learn, have a critical thinking. If you delete those topics, then they are deprived once for all. The current generation and the future generations are deprived about our past. Even in history, we study as a child. I remember we studied Mohenjo-daro, we studied Harappan civilization. Imagine they were 5,000 years old. Egyptian civilization, some of the oldest civilizations in the world. Why do we study? It's not because all was hunky-dory, all was good. There were bad things also during that time. There were bad rulers even in Mohenjo-daro, Harappa. There were bad rulers in Egyptian civilization. You take it, Mesopotamia civilization, why do we study? So that we can learn something from these civilizations. When we are learning from those civilizations which existed 5,000 years back, why to erase, why to delete the rulers who ruled the country some 300-400 years back. Why not delete the British rule in India? Why not? Why not delete the other rulers? So many rulers invaded India. So if you go on selectively deleting these topics from our history books, then the future generation will be deprived of our past. Think over. My take here: we should not change a single word in the history books, or for that matter any other book. We can bring new scientific temper by bringing new scientific things, not deleting the old topics. That's all I have time for this video. Thank you for watching. Till we meet next time, don't forget to share, subscribe, like our videos. Bye bye guys.